The clock will call this meeting to order. We do have a quorum. We have 4 members present, 1 member absent, Gary Hollowell. This morning, we'll have opening prayer. Was to be by Larry Eberhard. If he doesn't show up, I'll do the prayer, followed by pledges led by Commissioner Snuggs. If everyone would, please rise. Let us pray. Lord, we ask for your guidance today that we make decisions that would benefit our community and glorify you. Lord, we also ask that you watch over Commissioner Hollowell's family today and bring them strength in this time of grief, Lord. We ask this in our Savior's name, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All honor takes its flag and pledge allegiance to Texas, one state, under God, and one indivisible.
Okay, before we get started, I'd like to recognize Commissioner Leon Clement's birthday today, so would everyone please join us?
Thank you very much. Nobody thought I'd live this long, did they?
Okay.
105 is pretty impressive.
It is impressive.
Yeah, can you imagine you're going to look this good when you're 105?
I'll be in a box when I'm 105.
Yeah, I'll worry about that later.
All right, agenda item number 5 is public comments on agenda items. Do we have anyone here to speak on any agenda items? All right, then we'll move to item number 6, recognition of Cooke County Public Safety Telecommunicators and declaring National Public Safety Telecommunicators Week in Cooke County. And with that, I'll read the proclamation. Proclamation declaring National Public Safety Telecommunications Week. Whereas emergencies can occur at any time that require police, fire, or emergency medical services, and whereas when an emergency occurs, the prompt response of police officers, firefighters, and paramedics is critical to the protection of life and preservation of property. And whereas the safety of our police officers and firefighters is dependent upon the quality and accuracy of information obtained from citizens who telephone the Cooke County Emergency Communications Center, and whereas public safety telecommunicators are the first and most critical contact our citizens have with emergency services, and whereas public safety telecommunicators are the single vital link for our police officers and firefighters by monitoring their activities by radio, providing them information and ensuring their safety, and whereas public safety telecommunicators of Cooke County have contributed substantially to the apprehension of criminals, suppressions of fire, and treatment of patients, and where each dispatcher has exhibited compassion, understanding, and professionalism during the performance of their job in the past year, therefore, be it resolved that the Cooke County Commissioners Court declares the week of April 11th through April 17th, 2021 to be National Public Safety Telecommunicators Week in Cooke County in honor of the men and women whose diligence and professionalism keep our county and citizens safe. Thank y'all.
So moved.
We got to vote, right?
Yeah.
I make the motion. You make the motion. I'll second the motion.
Okay, we have a motion and a second to proclaim National Public Safety Telecommunicators Week. Any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It's unanimous.
Pictures.
You want to say a few words? How many did you bring with you?
Three.
2.5.
No, these communication operators with the Cooke County Sheriff's Office are absolutely some of the best I've ever worked with in my long career. They do extraordinary things on a daily basis, and we couldn't function without them. So, thank y'all very much.
Thank you. Sure, absolutely. Come on, guys.
What's the matter?
Newspaper even here today.
Huh?
Oh, go ahead.
Wherever y'all want, get y'all.
Sure. I'll take it. Yeah, we'll just get in here, sir.
One, two, three. One, two,
Ready to set? Time is right. He's right to do it. Do something. Okay, 1, 2, 3. I'll do 7.
Thank you.
Have a great day.
What else is there socially good? I don't have to wear a mask. How about that? There you go.
Okay. The next agenda item is number 7, update from Catherine Krantz of TCOG on household hazardous waste collection event.
All right,
Catherine? Hi.
good morning. So, I won't take up too much of your time. Looks like you have a very full agenda. I am Catherine Krantz. I'm the Community Economic Development Planner and Municipal Solid Waste Program Manager at Texoma Council of Governments, TCOG. We will be hosting, not this Saturday, but the next Saturday, the 24th, our biannual Household Hazardous Waste Collection event. I have some flyers. I'm going to leave them here. We will be accepting latex paint, up to 10 gallons per person. We will be accepting household hazardous waste, and those are things like pesticides, household chemicals, motor oil, oil paint, etc. Also electronics, anything that runs on electricity, computers, printers, TVs, phones. The TVs, not the tube kind, only the flat screen kind. Tires, 4 street legal tires, no rims. And there is by appointment only. You have to make an appointment, and that's so no one has to wait in line more than about 5 minutes. Everything's here. The main thing to know is that we have plenty of space. We have room for 400 people, and right now we have less than 100 appointments. So we've put out ads in the newspapers, both of the papers. We've had Facebook ads. We've been on the radio, and we still don't have enough people. So we need to get the word out, especially for the tires, because if you remember, you have an entire trailer for tires, and that holds up to 1,000 tires. And I'm really concerned we're not going to get enough. So we have about 2 weeks to get the word out. I'd really appreciate spreading the news far and wide. If you recall, we used to do this event every 2 years. Now we're trying to do it every year. So it's a big help, but it's possibly not getting the word out as much as we need to. So Saturday the 24th, At the Cooke County Fairgrounds, appointments are suggested. We have up to 300 more spaces, so plenty of room. And I appreciate all your helping with that. Thank you.
Thank you, Catherine.
As far as can I ask a question?
Sure.
The tires, this car tires, any certain size, can pickup tires are bigger than car tires? So-
Street legal tires only, no ATV or tractor tires, but they can be any size. They do need to be off the rim.
But it can be truck tires,
Yes.
as an 18-wheeler?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, which I was going to, yeah. So we have people that are going to be stacking them in the trailers, and we can take as many as can fit in the trailer.
Some folks, when you say street legal, they're thinking of car, they don't think.
Right.
We don't.
Yeah, it's the size of the off-road ones that cause a problem. I think the treads
Gotcha.
is the problem. And they have to be off the rim. And they have to be, but yeah, we have it set at 4 per person, but like I said, we have plenty of room. So we might accept more if we have room. So if you have any at your precincts, now would be a good time to coordinate getting them over to us next, not this Saturday, the next Saturday, the 24th.
All right.
Any other questions for Catherine?
Thank you.
Would the trailer tire, or could the truck for the trailer tires, can the trailer for the tires come earlier where we could do it with my guys at work for our tires?
It can stay at the location.
Okay.
Now, that is approval with the Cooke County Fairgrounds, and I think I did tell them that it might stay a little bit longer. They were okay with that. If you need to coordinate loading it, it will be there and you can let me know how long you need it there.
Okay. No, I think I've got some volunteers to come do ours on Saturday, but I'm not
Okay.
100% sure.
Yeah, I mean, you could do it Monday, Tuesday, anytime that upcoming week.
Okay, perfect.
Just let me know if you haven't done it yet, and I'll wait to
Okay,
send them to pick it up.
all right, thank you so much.
Anything else? Thank you, Catherine. Item number 8 is the consent agenda. We have removed item M to be discussed separately.
Item which one?
M.
Okay.
M. And we can go ahead and discuss that now. The deal is with M, and it should be in your packet, is we received 2 bids, one from Schindler and one from Otis. Kind of give you a quick synopsis of the difference between the two. Is Schindler is willing to come in and do the diagnosis for $3,150 plus applicable taxes, whereas Otis has quoted this by the hour at a straight $400 per hour. So I don't really know enough about elevators to know which one is the better deal, whether the hourly rate will end up being less than the flat rate or vice versa. My gut feeling tells me the hourly rate's a better deal, but I understand that we have had difficulties with Otis in the past with the elevator we have here in the courthouse. Any thoughts?
We're gonna,
So whenever we purchased the building, jog my memory, Leon, did we talk about having to put a whole new elevator in it, or were we just going to have to do a bunch of work on this one?
well, we don't know yet, I don't think. We're gonna talk about this later on again?
Well, this is the purpose of this quote, is to have someone come in and evaluate what needs to be done and what prospectively could be done as far as putting in a new one that is more modernized and more capable.
So they're going to do all that while they're here. See,
Yes.
it doesn't, it's a little confusing.
Yeah.
My main concern is it ADA compliant? And I don't want to spend a bunch of money fixing an old elevator and then
Yeah, I'm
the
saying,
ADA guy come out here and say, no, you're going to do something different. But
because it seems
that-
like we,
Otis isn't listed on the agenda.
I got you.
No.
I know. But, so Judge, you think that's part of the deal when they come out?
No, it is part of the deal.
Okay. It doesn't really say that
No.
in there. It just sounds like they're going to fix it up and we're going to try to.
Well, it says to provide a mechanic to troubleshoot the unit, not necessarily to fix it, but to determine what the problems are and what needs to be done for it to be compliant. We can take no action on this, guys, if you
We
prefer.
probably need to take no action since Otis is not listed, right, Shelley?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll strike M from the agenda, take no action on item M, and there was a supplementary adding on T, U, and V. Does everybody have a copy of that?
I make a motion, we approve the consent agenda minus M, as in Matthew. You got one? Okay.
I got two of them I want to pull off.
Okay, I'm
Where'd they go? I want to take N and O out, just for discussion. The rest of them are fine with me. So, as I so rudely interrupted you, go ahead and finish.
No, that's,
Let me take
N and O.
Now, why are we taking N out?
We're not changing, I just want to, we've got a list of names, and we're not changing any. That's no new ones, that's just the old ones we're putting back on?
There's one new one.
Is there one new one? Who is it? Do you know?
Yes, Mia Calhoun,
Okay,
a local lady.
okay. I'd just like to keep up with all that, that's the
No,
only reason.
not a problem.
And the same with the Ray Roberts, there's no names.
That's a repeat of the original one.
Okay, that's just going to be everybody back on it?
Yes.
Okay. All right, wasn't sure.
yeah, everybody who was on it hasn't been on very long and they wanted to serve again, so.
They wanted to stay. Do they have term limits on that?
They're not term limits, but it's 2-year term.
Well, 2-year terms, but they can keep staying on it as long as they want, I thought. All right, I make a motion, we approve N and O.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion to approve the consent agenda, except for item M, and a second from Commissioner Leon. Any further discussion?
I'm a little confused.
Okay,
Because-
we're accepting the consent agenda, including the supplementary, which included T, U, and V, but we are removing item M from the
So
consent.
can my motion that I made
But yeah,
first?
you made a motion
Yeah.
to approve the consent agenda, but he pulled to, and he just made the motion only to approve N and O.
No.
Yeah.
That's what he
Oh,
said.
including N and O, I thought was
That's all
what
he
you
said
said.
was.
I just said I made a motion to approve N and O, separate from the.
Okay.
But if you want to, that's
Okay,
fine.
no, that's good.
We can go back to my original
Yeah,
motion.
he made a motion.
Okay, so we have a motion from Commissioner Snuggs to accept the consent agenda less item M, and I will second that. Any further discussion? All of those in favor of accepting the consent agenda less item M, please signify by saying aye. 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 Ayes have it, 4-0. Okay, item number 9 is 1018. We'll open public hearing, replat of various lots in the refuge at Moss Lake and Precinct 4. Anyone here to speak to that? All right. It is now 10:19. We will close public hearing. Agenda item 11, deliberate and consider possible approval of replat of various lots in the refuge at Moss Lake, Precinct 4.
Do you want to speak to it at all? It's pretty much cut and dried. You're not creating any new lots, not making them, you're just swapping some land from lot to lot, basically.
Yes, people bought lots and combined, they bought
Yeah.
a lot and combined.
Bigger lots, yeah. And everybody's happy with it, so I'll make a motion we approve.
I have a motion to approve the lots at the refuge at Moss Lake in Precinct 4 by Commissioner Clement.
Second.
A second by Commissioner Snuggs. Any further discussion? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Replats of various lots in the refuge at Moss Lake passed 4-0. Item 12 It is now 10:20. We'll open up public hearings for replat of part of Lot 22 and all of Lot 23 and 24 of Whispering Hills Estates, Section 2, located at Moss Lake. Anyone here to speak to that? Okay, it is still 10:20. We'll close public hearing.
Someone signed up to speak.
Oh, they did? I'm sorry.
I think he might want to just talk on the item.
Okay.
About the cemetery. The cemetery.
Okay, well, we haven't left
We
the,
haven't got to that yet.
yeah,
I think he just wants the opportunity to speak.
sure. So do you want to go ahead and allow him to speak now?
Let's just wait till we get to the cemetery talk.
Okay,
Yeah.
got you. Okay, back to item number 13. We're closing public hearing on Whispering Hills Estates, Section 2, located at Moss Lake. Item 14, deliberate and consider possible approval of replat of part of Lot 22 and all of Lot 23 and 24 of Whispering Hills Estates, Section 2, located at Moss Lake.
And this is sort of the same thing. I make a motion we approve.
Have a motion we approve lots 23, 24, and 22 replat at Whispering Hills.
Second.
Have a second by Commissioner Snuggs. Any further discussion? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries 4. Item 15, deliberate and consider possible approval of bid award for Cooke County Road aggregate, bid number FY 20-010 to North Texas Crushed Stone, Cooke County Crushed Stone, Tri-County Materials, J.R. Thompson, Hard Rock Materials, Johnny's Dozer Service, Deluce Brothers, and Sustainable Pavement Technologies for the period beginning April the 1st, 2021 through March 31st, 2022. Anybody have any input in this particular issue?
Is this everybody we asked to bid? Shelley? Pretty much a repeat of last year. Prices have changed a little. Everybody happy?
We know we buy a lot of 5/8. I'm buying a lot of 5/8 granite. Are they not required to bid that?
We asked for it. We asked for 5/8 unwashed limestone.
Okay.
We asked for 5/8 granite chips. No one bids it.
No one bid on it. Did we talk to what's the name of that group in Oklahoma? Not DeLisi, the other one.
Martin Marietta?
Martin Marietta. Did they not bid?
Doesn't look like it.
I don't think so.
Did we send them a packet to bid?
I would imagine we did. We should have. Do you think so, Shelley?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess they're so big that it won't bid. Their granite chips are way better material than the unwashed.
So do we need to go ahead and accept 15 and come back and see if we can find somebody that can
Well,
do
we
it 3/4 granite later?
No.
Can we not send out bids again?
We have to reject this and rebid it.
Okay.
We'd have to reject it and rebid it on with it.
Really, as long as we don't spend over 50,000 with them, we're okay, right?
Yes.
Is that 50,000 aggregate or 50,000 each one of us?
Each one of them.
Okay. I think you'd be fine.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking too, yeah.
Because that's
I
what we
won't
did,
buy-
that's what we did last year, I do believe.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion we approve.
Second.
Have a motion to approve road aggregate bid number FY 20-10 from Leon Clement, and a second from Commissioner Snuggs. Any further discussion? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Item 15 passes 4-0. Item 16, deliberate and consider possible approval of a resolution appointing successor representative to P3. I'm told this is the power pool, and that would be appointing me.
He doesn't get the joke at all. So move.
So moved. Second. Any further discussion?
No.
All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Approved 4-0.
Adam seconded.
Yeah, we need signatures. Item number 17 on the agenda, deliberate and consider possible approval of submitting application and resolution to the Office of the Attorney General, Crime Victim Services for the Victim Coordinator Liaison Grant, fiscal year 2022 through 2023. I spoke with Callie this morning, and it is the exact same paperwork as last year. However, we are getting $3,000 more. It goes from $42,000 to $45,000.
That's cool. So it's just basically the same thing. Now, we're running it through the DA's office. First year, we ran it through, the first time we ran it through. Okay, and everybody's cool with that? Everybody's good? I'll make the motion we approve submitting the application.
I have a motion to accept the submit the application to the Office of the Attorney General.
Second.
And a second from Adam Arndt. Any further discussion? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. Agenda item 18, deliberate and consider possible appointment of an at-large representative and groundwater provider representative to North Texas Groundwater Conservation District for a 4-year period beginning June 1, 2021 and expiring June 1, 2025. That appointment would be for David Flushy. I believe he is currently holding that position.
There's two, isn't there?
Oh, is there?
Yeah. Ronnie Young, too.
Okay. I don't see his name. Oh, okay.
Two different letters. They both want to be back on? I mean, there's nobody, no other names, so I assume they want the job. I think they're doing a fine job. I'll make the motion, we accept these candidates to stay on the groundwater board.
I have a motion to accept David Flushy and Ronnie Young back to the at-large representative of groundwater providers.
Second.
Have a second from Commissioner Snuggs. Any further discussion? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it.
Judge, can I ask a question real quick?
Sure.
Can we go back to the tires just a second?
Sure.
I have a question. So where all did you advertise? Did you advertise in which papers? Did you advertise in Munster and Gainesville, both? Okay. All right. Yeah, there's your Munster newspaper guy right there. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I mean, that might help a little bit too. That's all. I just wanted to throw that out there.
Is there a flyer that I can put on my Facebook page? Please.
Yeah.
Please do. Okay.
If you would, Jason, share it with the rest of us.
I will.
Okay. Okay, agenda item number 19. Deliberate and consider possible acceptance of $4,932 from Tariq Malik in exchange for county conveyance back of 600 square feet off a Main Street lot to resolve encroachment, and approval of county judge executing all documents necessary to complete such transfer.
It seemed like that went fast and easy. Seemed like that went fast and easy.
Everything went well?
I make a motion we approve.
Second.
Have a motion from Commissioner Snuggs to approve agenda item 19, seconded by Commissioner Clement. Any further discussion? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. 20, deliberate and consider possible actions regarding painting outside of juvenile probation building. I don't know how many of you guys have driven by there, but we've taken the bushes down. Thank you, Adam. Good job. It looks really good.
I didn't do much. It was mostly Ricky and his crew.
Okay. But in the end, we do need to repaint that building. You want to speak to this, Rick? Rick's estimate that it would cost us around $500 in paint.
Yeah, if we painted ourselves, it'd be $500 to $600 for paint. We also, if we're going to fix the building up, we need to put new screens on it. And I haven't got the estimate back, but I'm expecting $1,000 to $1,500 probably to put new screens up around the building just to dress it up. My question is, what's the plan for the building? For years, I've been told just keep it operating and don't spend any extra money because the plan was that it's going away. So,
That's what I was about to say. We don't know what we're going to do at the Crest Building yet, but I mean, I would think that it's on the table to eventually do away with that building.
That's kind of what we hashed out the last few years.
I don't want to be quoted on that, but that's kind of the
Well,
tentative.
That was the original discussion we've had long before you ever got here, Judge. We've been talking about if we could ever find a building to replace that building.
Sure.
It would be good for additional parking, and it's not that good of a building. So I don't know, I'd like to hold off on that until we finally hammer out what we're going to do.
Do we even really need to paint it right now?
Well, I mean, it's less sightly now that the bushes are down, and we're talking about $500 to spruce it up. I mean, it's a pretty insignificant amount of money to make it look nicer in the interim. We're certainly not going to tear it down in the next year or two.
No.
Okay, maybe we are.
You never know.
You never
I mean,
know.
I mean, you're right, $500 is insignificant, but the, you know,
I
two days labor, I mean,
No.
Yeah. I thought it looked quite nice with the bushes. That's just me. I think we ought to hold off until we figure out how we're going to move on down the road with everything else, because I don't want to double, that gets back to some folks wanting to move us out of here. I don't want to double move people. That's another whole thing, but we're on this building now, so.
Okay, so we have a motion not to paint it?
I have a motion not to paint it right now.
I'll second that one.
Okay, we have a motion not to paint it by Commissioner Clement, second by Commissioner Snuggs. Any further discussion? All in favor, please signify by aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Aye. It carries 3-1. Item number 21, deliberate and consider possible actions regarding repair and replacement to damaged roofs on county buildings. Rick?
You just thought we were done with you.
Yeah. You just thought you were getting off the hook?
what is it? I didn't even know I had another one on here.
Oh, I'm sorry. Regarding repairs and replacement to damaged roofs on county buildings.
Oh, okay. Where it is right now is Scott Franklin has submitted his
Pull that down so I can hear you.
Sorry. Scott Franklin has submitted his specifications to the THC, and they are reviewing it at this point. And when they do their assessment, tell him whatever they want it to tweak or whatever, then he'll move forward with vetting contractors, and at some point there will be a meeting here with a contractors meeting, and move forward from there. But right now it's in the court of the THC to assess the specifications that he's put forth.
So do we run any risk of having leaks or damage to our buildings, this one or the Crest building?
No. Well, no, this is not dealing with the Crest building. This is dealing with this building and the annex building.
I understand. But I'm asking the question because this is actually worded where it says county buildings.
Right.
And we know we have a suspect roof on Crest.
Right.
So if you would, go ahead and brief the court on that if you have anything to add.
We're waiting. When he comes to do his meeting with the contractors, he's going to look at the roof at the Crest building. If we'll wait until that, he won't charge us anything.
Gotcha.
We're in a hurry. It'll be $2,000 for him to come and do an assessment. So,
Any guess on a timeline for TAC to make some kind of determination?
no.
Okay. All right, I recommend that you at least ask them how it's coming along. I think if we remind them weekly, maybe the squeaky wheel will get greased.
I was in contact with them last week, and that they just got those specs to the THC last week. So
Okay.
If I may be so bold, Judge,
Sure.
no offense to Rick, but if you call him, it's going to be a lot bigger hammer falling on him.
Okay. I'll be glad to, Rick.
If Rick calls on him.
Would you send me the contact information, please?
Sure. James Malanaphy. James Malanaphy is the contact, but I'll send it.
Please. Okay, thanks, Rick. No action on item number 21. Item number 22, deliberate and consider possible actions regarding, no action on item 22. Item 23. Am I lost? Yeah, we are at 22. Forgive me.
22. 22 is the Potter Cemetery. I have a gentleman want to talk.
Okay. No action on item 21. Agenda item 22, deliberate and consider possible actions regarding maintenance and upkeep to the Potter Cemetery on West Highway 82. Thank you, Kenny, for waiting. Kenny Bezer?
As you all know, or maybe some of you don't know about the cemetery there, it's a potter's field. It was for the county buried the indigent people there when the poor farm was in existence from the late 1800s to the late 20s. 18 bodies are buried there. They were indigent burials. I'm sure they had markers there at one time. And over the time, whenever they were building the highway, they discovered it again. And then it was, the graves were, they scanned for the graves and found them and marked them with just simple little stones. And when I found out about it, I thought it my Christian duty to take care of or do something to maintain the dignity of the dead. And then when I found out it was an old county's poor farm cemetery, I thought, why isn't the county taking care of it? I mean, it's under your care, custody, control, and I thought that, I've been borrowing my dad's lawnmower to mow it and got other people that I knew that had a brush cutter when it got too big to knock it down. One of the gentlemen was the owner of the land right next to it there. I forget his name, Craig or Greg or something. And the other one was John Sprouse. When he was coming to mow the county fairgrounds, he would knock it down until I could get a finish mower in it. So I've been doing this for 3 or 4 years, but the last couple of years I've asked Zimmer Kubota to donate a mower for me to use to mow it. So I've been doing that, and then recently I had some other people that were interested in it because they are Catholics and Christians also, and they felt like there was some dignity due those people there. And we cleared all the trees from the fence row, but the fence is damaged pretty severely, and on the west side there is no fence. And so I'm just looking to see if the county would provide even just manpower. I mean, I'm not asking for money or anything. I mean, a county crew could come over there and clean the brush out on the west side, repair the fence, put up markers, level the land, and put a marker up for the people who were buried there. Simple. Not much money would be spent. And just thought that the county should take care of their cemetery. I mean, I'm not fussing or anything like that. I don't mind doing it because the Zimmer Kubota is loaning me the mower at their expense. I just drive it down there. It's about a quarter of a mile, and it's no big deal.
It's on Highway 82 across from the TxDOT storage area.
Yeah, the big
Square. McCoy's, across from McCoy's.
Yeah, Right there. Yeah, it's that little indentation there. I mean, one time,
Right, yeah, text up before Jim.
one time the state mowed it, I guess by accident, with their mowers, they went in there, but since then, I just only saw that once, and nobody else has been maintaining it. I think it deserves some dignity, myself, because it's under your care, custody, and control.
Well, no one realized until just a few years ago, that's where the poor farm originally was. And then good Lord, we've done a bunch of deed search, she's done a bunch of deed search. So they bought it in 1880, that farm, and they sold it in 1917, and moved out to south, out at Caden's out there. That was the new poor farm. And if you go back and you can find old newspaper articles where they buried the destitute and poor out there. The problem we get into is everybody wants you to take care of cemeteries. It's one of the first questions I asked, I think you and Commissioner Hollowell that day in a pickup was, I've got a cemetery out there that may be the county's. And both of you told me you can't do that. And that's always been the you can maybe speak to it better than I can. It's not that I don't want to. And it's not that I don't think the county should. It's the questionable part was always in the past.
And there's hundreds of them out there, and I've had 20 people approach me wanting us to take care of them too. But we told them the same thing, we can't do it.
Well, but they're not county cemeteries.
Right.
The law, the confusing part is if it's, oh, Judge, help me out here. What
Well, it's
else
a
to say?
historical site.
Yeah, historical site, if it's 50 years or older, and it's county property or is county property.
Yeah, technically, I believe, and I'll defer to Ed, is
Yeah.
this one we could take care of.
Yes. That property apparently has been set aside for the county all this time, and it's marked on surveys as a set-aside portion. So I don't think that we ever transferred title of that property where the cemetery is to anybody else.
So that was, you looked at all that legal, we looked up, Pam helped me a lot. She looked up a lot of stuff for me.
And they always have a reservation about that particular tract and that apparently was the area designated for the burial site.
Yeah, okay.
So my thinking is that since the county has it and has had it, that we are fine to maintain it.
All right. Now, Mr. Besner, the reason for all this discussion about this is over the years, we all have been, well, you may not have been yet because you haven't been here long enough.
It's coming, though.
But it's coming. We've been asked to take care of all kinds of cemeteries, but the law don't let us take care of cemeteries. So when we take this one on, I wanted to be sure I had everything signed, sealed, and delivered. That's why it took this long and I got Ed involved. But if Ed says it's fine, that's fine with me.
And the only properties that we can take care of are those that belong to the county. We can't make gifts to private entities. And if we took care of private cemeteries, we would be making a gift, and the county's not allowed to do that.
Okay.
Mr. Besner, you mentioned there's no marker, so when they're mowing, there's no headstones, right, sir?
No, sir, none at all.
Okay.
And the markers that I would consider, if the county court would consider, is just a simple cross. I mean, we don't know who's buried in these graves. They're marked with little stones.
Flagstones, little bricks.
Little terracotta stones that, they're used for landscaping. And there's 18 of them there. The land needs to be leveled, so it's easier to mow. And I'm thinking that if we could get it into condition that it's easy to maintain, that we could get a group like a Boy Scout group to come and mow it. Because I figure none of the commissioners have a lawnmower hanging around. They all use big stuff.
Yeah.
You don't have lawnmowers. And all of them, if you get it in good condition and making it look like a cemetery again, then people wouldn't have any problem maintaining it.
My thought was if it had a marker for each grave, that when the weed eater comes out, it sure changes the volunteers.
No, this is just these little old flagstones they use in landscaping, little red bricks set down in the ground.
Nobody hates to mow, everybody hates to weed eat.
I don't mind weed eating.
Can you come to my house?
So I'm talking about cemeteries.
I'm teasing.
So you want to take all those trees and everything out on the west side too?
No, I don't take the trees out, just trim them up. I mean, that's good shade for the,
I was going to say.
that's good stuff. I'm just getting all the brush and all that other undergrowth under there and put a fence, clean that fence row out on the west and put a chain link fence and repair the other chain link fence.
I've got several rolls of chain link that I could donate at the barn.
And see, and one of your crews, I mean, the county has manpower I don't have. And they can help me do it in no time, and I'll be happy to help. And I'll sign any waiver that if, so I won't get, you won't get in trouble for me helping you.
What do we
I
have to
won't
do
sue
to
you
make
or
this
anything.
all copacetic?
I think in order for us to do this, we need to put some specifics on the agenda of what it is we're going to take on. I'm assuming we're taking on the mowing and maintenance of the area. But now we've talked about adding fencing too, and which I think is appropriate. The other thing I would ask Ed to help us with is I think it needs to be a historical landmark, so by the state of Texas at least. So
Make an application for that. Once we
Okay.
identify it, we'll do a meets and bounds description, get it into a format, and then have a declaration by the Commissioners Court for your approval to determine whether or not we rededicate that
I
facility.
like that.
Kenny, like that brush and stuff, we can go clean that up, but I'd rather wait until we get all this paperwork kind of straightened out.
Well, in the meantime, I'm going to mow it once a week with the zipper mowers mower and weed around it and keep it, down a little bit. And I'm going to be working on that other area, that brush there. And you have to take each of those, the little sticks, sticking up, I don't know what kind of plants they are, they're going to come back. So I just want to maintain it so it's easy to mow
Yeah.
and easy to maintain.
We contract, or I don't know if we don't contract, we hire that group. Was it Bruce's, or which group is it that mows the EMS?
Bruce's properties.
Yeah.
What's the name of the group again, please?
Bruce's Properties?
Bruce's Property.
Across from, on Dixon Street, right across from the
Co-op.
Oh, yeah, co-op.
It might be cheaper in the long run. I mean, we can clean up all the heavy stuff, but just grass mowing, have that put on see what it would cost. Anyway, it's worth looking at.
I agree.
I agree with that.
You got two road hands or whatever, one, shutting something down, taking the county vehicles and everything. You could probably hire that mowed once we get it straightened out. Does that make sense?
Yes, sounds good. Thank you.
Well,
Thank you, Kenny.
We'll see what we do.
Thank you,
Hey,
Ed.
thanks a lot.
Can you get the historical society to get the historical mark?
I couldn't hear you.
Can you get the historical society to get the historical mark?
Ed's going to take that, he's going to work with someone to get that done, correct, Ed?
They are the group that works with the state, though, to do that.
Yeah.
See if we can get the Historical Society here in the county to work on a historical marker for that place.
That's what I consider doing.
Yeah.
If it got to that, we can get some help with that.
Yeah.
Mr. Besner, on behalf of the court, I'd like to thank you for bringing this to our attention, and moreover, I'd like to thank you for taking care of it for so long. It's muchly appreciated. The citizens of Cooke County appreciate it.
Well, I think it's a Christian thing to do, and I know that most of you are Christians, so I appreciate that very much.
Thank you.
Kenny.
Okay, no action on item number 22 at this time. Agenda item 23, deliberate and consider possible actions regarding the Crest Building. Do we have any discussion about the Crest Building we want to have today?
I want to take a step back.
Sure.
We say no action, but,
I'm willing to work up some for the next agenda.
okay, I was just going to say we ought to get a price from them to see if
We're
they
going to.
charge us to mow it and have that. Okay. You're going to do all that?
And yes, and maybe I should restate this and for the minutes. Is it on item number 21, I'm sorry, 22,
22.
the Potter Cemetery? I'll take the action to figure out what it would cost to get the property mowed by Bruce's Properties.
We've already called them to get a quote.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
When did you do that? Oh, did you?
Yes.
I didn't know that.
We were trying to get the address, there's no address.
Okay.
Oh, okay, so they're that
Rick,
far
can you
off.
help us with that?
Address?
No, the address.
Don't,
Do we have an address, Pam?
I don't think so.
If there's somebody from Bruce Properties, I'll drive them out there and show them.
do we need a motion to actually go out and get quotes on the mowing and to, okay,
Okay.
if you say no,
Thank you, Madam Auditor.
I disagree.
Okay. We'll check on Bruce's properties quote, as well as I will work with Adam to check and see what it will cost us to put fencing around the area. And Ed will take the action to see what it will take to get a historical monument or historical designation. Anything else?
I think so.
Okay, let's move on to item number 23. Deliberate and consider possible actions regarding the Crest Building. Does anybody have anything new on the Crest Building or any concerns or questions?
How's the water sprinkler system going?
Rick,
We're waiting on,
go ahead and come up here. Thank you.
the application for the permit is sitting in the hands of Golden Triangle. They need to provide us with the specifications and drawings of what they're going to do and get it back to me so that I can upload it into the application. And I've talked to him every week, and he keeps telling me they're working on it, they've about got it.
Can you get me a telephone number for this gentleman?
Yeah, it's Chad that we met with that day, but yeah, I'll get it to you.
All right.
And he...
But currently the water's off, so there's no danger
Water
of
is turned
flooding.
off. Yes, yes. And we can't move forward until we get that information from him.
Any other questions about the Crest Building or?
Right now.
Thanks, Rick. Okay, we'll take no action on 23 at this time. Agenda item 24, deliberate and consider possible actions regarding the annex. I recommend that we take no action since that was Gary's, and he's not available to talk to it.
Yep, I'm good with that.
I have cleaned out all my stuff upstairs, by the way, just letting y'all know. I've cleaned out all my elections upstairs.
Okay.
It's all moved.
Well, that's good. Is there anything else concerning the annex that we need to address today?
I mean, we're not gonna, I don't know, you all guys want to talk about the annex?
I don't have any input at this point.
He just said,
I think we still have
wait with Gary. We have full court.
I know that Gary's been working on another layout he thought that would be more acceptable to the court.
I still don't want to move.
I understand.
And you're still going to have trouble with the historical commission. I have reached out to them. I can share that with you at another time. There's no sense in wasting time today since we're not going to discuss that. But we have to ask for permission to move the historical office out of here.
Understand.
And their committee meets. Well, that's never been publicly discussed. It's just like we can move out. They don't meet, but every quarter their board does. But I've got a copy of the contract that was signed in 2008 that says all these historical offices will stay in here. And you're breaking the contract if you move the district court out or the county court at law or the county judge out of here. So it's not as simple as just doing it.
Can you forward that contract out?
Yeah, would you please?
Do what?
Can you forward that contract to us?
Sure. You want a printed copy?
It doesn't matter. If you got an extra one, yeah, I'll take one.
Electronic would be better, but yeah, sure. Why don't you let me have
No, I
it?
want you to be able to sit down and really read it, Judge. I don't want you
Would
to.
you hand it to Kathy and she'll scan it and pass it on to everybody on the court? Okay. Yeah,
Oh, I want you to have a paper copy so in case your computer goes down,
okay.
you can read
Do you
it.
have the,
That's very thoughtful.
when did you contact him by email here recently?
I talked to him on the phone.
Okay.
I still talk to people on the phone.
That's fine. I just was curious. I mean, I'd like to read whatever you got so that I know.
No, here, seriously, Adam, pass those to me.
Okay, any other discussion on the annex?
Yeah, there was some conversation, I believe, 1 or 2 meetings ago about breaking this contract. I asked him about that. Denton County they had two styles of contract, the original one and the one we had. We had the second one. The original one's what Denton had, and they made no commitment to never move. That's why they ended up moving their people out, made it into a museum more or less. Collin County is a different ball of wax because the building they were in, they went to a city building, so they had no hold over them. But it all depends on what their board will allow you to do. They said they have gone back against several different counties and made them give some money back. So, anyway, food for thought.
Yeah. Just for clarification, though, there wouldn't be a move of the district court. That would be an additional district court if, in fact, we move forward.
No. The only reason I said that, I'm not knocking the courtroom. What I mean is not just us. There's several other offices in here that they don't want to move. That would be the courts primarily, you.
Yep. And this is just my personal opinion, but something just food for thought for the court is that we really don't know what the revenue flow is going to be at this time. We know that we've had a significant downturn both in the aviation and the oil industry. So I think that we need to be considering, what the financial impact would be of any significant changes over there. But we certainly need to accommodate Pam at the very least.
I agree.
But we need to take all that into consideration. But for today, until we have Gary back to show us his new layout, I recommend that we take no action.
Sounds good to me. I just wanted all the information out there. And I agree with you about taking it slow. Now's not the time to do anything rash.
Okay. Action item number 25, deliberate and consider possible actions regarding county radio communication system. This is another one that Gary normally speaks to, but Ray may be able to give us an update. Okay, then we'll also take no action on item number 25. Item number 26, deliberate and consider possible actions regarding various grant funds.
Can we go back to the radio deal?
Sure.
Well, there's a question. Who do I want to talk to that? Ray or Rick? Both of you, maybe. So this, Rick, would you get back up here? We're talking about structure, so the generator at Rice Avenue isn't large enough to handle the tower.
Correct.
Or together, the tower and the building. And we talk about putting in an extra switch to disconnect the non-essential stuff in case of emergency. But if that happens, then in other words, that means the air conditioning, basically, because that'd be the biggest draw on electricity. But if that would, go ahead.
Those are the bigger pull items that you would have to take out of the system in order for it to handle.
Heater would be fine because it's gas, I believe, isn't it, Adam? And you've been out there before. It probably is.
I think that one is gas.
It's gas.
Natural gas.
Yeah, natural gas. But let's say that would go out in the heat of the summer. Air conditioning is essential. There's nobody going to stay in that tin building when it's 105 degrees outside. We don't have a generator unit at Valley View, do we?
Correct.
I wonder if we could get some cost. It's not going to be free to rewire that. I know they say it's simple, but nothing is simple anymore.
I just got a quote Friday for a new generator. It's a brand new one. They don't have any used ones anymore like we got.
Oh, really?
Before. They said they used all those up. Anyway, the quote's $22,000 for a generator that'll handle the whole building at Station 5.
That's Valley View.
Valley View, yes.
Well, where I was going with that is will this generator at this station handle Valley View?
I would think so.
Well, then we ought to put a bigger one, move that one and or we ought to think about it, consider it.
That's a good idea.
I mean, I don't know. I think air conditioning is essential when it's 100 degrees outside.
They won't hang in there, I promise.
No, they won't. They wouldn't be able to.
Well, then, you got your air conditioner in an ambulance. That's going to pull a lot, too. That's probably 50 amps in that thing.
Right.
So that's...
Well, they asked for the load of what the building pulled.
Yeah.
So I went in and gave them a breakdown on everything that was in the building and sent it to them. And Motorola And he sent it back to me saying that's exactly what they needed. That's the information that they needed, and that's the last I heard.
Of course, I don't know what a new one to pull all that would cost at Rice Avenue, but we ought to look into it. And
How many amps are they needing? 50?
I don't know.
I thought it was more than that.
I'm not sure.
That might be a better solution, like you're saying.
Well,
Upgrade that one and move that one down there.
because you're not gonna, I wouldn't expect anybody to try to stay in there and sleep in a 100-degree building. No, it's not gonna happen. Anyway,
No, I
just food for thought. Sorry I interrupted.
No, I think that is good stuff. Why don't you go ahead and get us a quote of what it would cost to do what Leon's just described, moving the one at Rice Avenue to Valley View and buying a new one for Rice Avenue. But of course, make sure that the amperage is acceptable for the one going to Valley View.
What I don't know is how big it would have to be.
Okay. Can you take that
Motorola.
action and do a little research for us?
Yeah.
Motorola ought to be able to give you what they have, or what they need, and add the two together.
I'll see what I can come up with.
Bump it a little.
Bump it a little, yeah. They don't get any more of those other generators? They came off of cell phone towers is what they came from.
I get, he just told me right now they don't have any. They may get some more.
Okay,
At the time, they didn't have any.
all right. Yeah, that was a good deal.
Thanks, Rick.
Really, that worked.
I believe that we are. Do you know, Ray, have you had an update from Gary about, are we still on track?
No, sir.
It's been a couple of weeks ago, but I received a project plan, and they were on track 2 weeks ago. I'll try to pull it up and see where they're at, and I'll send it out to everybody on the court. Okay, so we'll take no action on agenda item 25 and move to agenda 26. Deliberate and consider possible actions regarding various grant funds. Madam Auditor?
I've received another lengthy request on projects that have already been turned in for Precinct 4 for the 15 flood. For the items that they asked me to resend that they already had in their system. I haven't yet got to getting what they need yet.
Okay.
The FEMA 2020 COVID-19, I had 4 pages of corrections. I have been submitting what they wanted, and then on Friday they sent an email saying that at this time, since the salaries were more than what money we were going to get, that I didn't have to send 3 pages of the corrections I'd already sent, that I could just upload the salary data, and that at some point, if they had leftover money, that I could go back and submit the other expenses for consideration. But I thought I would just go ahead and submit everything, that way it's already done. I'm still waiting on some school districts to get me items that are needed. So everything is done except for some school districts and the payroll. The payroll's already scanned in. I can upload it today. I'm sorry. That's on the CARES Act funding, not the FEMA 2020.
So FEMA's pretty consistent across the board, aren't they?
Yeah.
And by that, I don't mean that as a good thing. I mean that as they make life difficult on the bookkeeping side, anyway.
Yeah. The public safety, I still, for the month of February, the grant ended February 28th. I still have one more request for payment to submit, and they told me that I could submit anything. I didn't have to submit just inmates that were being held over 45 days, so I need to find some PPE and things like that out of the jail to submit to use up the rest of that money. We did have one inmate that was in jail in February that has used up half of the $5,700 I had left, so I need to find about $2,900 and submit that. I haven't submitted any expenses for CTIP yet, and I just got an email for the elections. They've opened that up to be able to submit the expenses, so I should be able to submit that and be finished with that one, and that one can come off. Slowly but surely.
Thank you. Anyone else have any updates on the grants? Okay, we'll take no action and move to agenda item 27, which is executive session in compliance with the Texas Open Meeting Act.
Can we take a 5-minute break?
Sure. And we'll take a 5-minute break, Christian. Agenda item number 28, deliberate and consider possible approval of hiring clerk for district attorney through October the 1st from forfeiture funds with budget amendment for same, and possible full-time position thereafter to be discussed at budget time.
Motion to approve.
Have a motion to approve from Commissioner Snuggs.
I'll second.
I have a second from Commissioner Arndt. Any further discussion? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Carries 4-0. Item number 29, deliberate and consider possible approval of increasing part-time hours for IT employee.
So move. I make a motion, we approve the
Have a
increase
motion
in
to approve from Commissioner Clement
part-time hours.
Second.
and a second from Commissioner Arndt. Any further discussion? All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it, 4-0. Item number 30, deliberate and consider possible approval of paying overtime versus comp time for county workers during election. I recommend we take no action, and Pam, I'd like to have you and Brandy put together something for the court with a little bit more detail of what you think it will cost us and how many hours we're talking about. I'll get something to Brandy as well. So if there's no further discussion on item 30, we'll take no action. Agenda item 31, deliberate and consider possible actions on public health emergency declaration for COVID-19. Ray?
Yes, sir, gentlemen. I provided you some information that we get from our regional report daily, and that's the Trauma Service Area E that includes the Metroplex as well as Cooke County. And I think you can see on the graph that cases are maybe upticking just a little bit overall, but nothing alarming at this point. But they flattened out, it looks like, a week ago or maybe a little more, and then maybe just a slight tick up over the last week. The occupancy data right now, or at least as of yesterday, in TMC was showing 2 patients, one in ICU, one in their general hospital side. And I don't believe that Munster has any in the hospital right now. So those numbers are staying consistent, not increasing dramatically. It's been running between 0 and 2 probably for the last few weeks. And then the color-coded map of counties make up Trauma Service Area E. You can see kind of what everybody else is experiencing, and that our overall percentage is 3.64%. Last week, we did vaccinate an additional 660 first shots on Thursday, and so that puts us somewhere in the neighborhood of about 7,300 first vaccinations for the county. And that's just the ones by NTMC, North Texas Medical Center, Munster Memorial Hospital, and Family First Clinic. Those are the three we're including in our factors. We know that Tom Thumb Pharmacy, Hometown Pharmacy, CVS Pharmacy, Walmart have all been given vaccinations over the last month at least. And so that's a number we've given, is about 7,300, but that's a significantly higher number of people vaccinated in the county. And for second vaccinations, I think we're about at 4,800. Again, we'll do a considerable amount again next week, and I think we've got 4 more second shot clinics scheduled to finish up the first shots we've given. And the last one will be the 11th of May. So right now, we're doing pretty good. We've I've been in discussions with our local health authority, Dr. Lewis, to possibly reduce the quarantine time from 14 days to 10 days to make that consistent with the active case number. He's reviewing that now and will hopefully send me a reply very soon on what his recommendation will be. That's probably the only thing hanging out there right now. Schools are progressing, and we're not getting a lot of case notifications out of them. So I hope that continues. We have a good, successful, strong finish to the school year. And again, we'll continue to do the second dose vaccinations here at the Civic Center as we've got those scheduled.
Okay, thank you for the update. Is there anything you need from the court?
No, sir.
All right. Anybody have any questions for Ray?
I think we ought to put Ray on the sooner up the agenda instead of leaving him at the end every time, though.
Yeah.
You have a problem with that?
No, so that was actually going to be a discussion I had after this one.
Okay.
Yeah, before it.
I meant to say that last court, I apologize.
Yeah.
You don't like staying with us? Well, it's not personal, but.
Got other stuff you could do.
Oh, that's a fair request.
There's more exciting things you could be involved in than sitting here.
And especially these last few courts have been just long, so.
It's not too
Okay, I make the motion, we move the public health emergency declaration of COVID-19 up in the agenda so we can let Ray give his update and leave earlier.
I don't know if you need a motion, just do it.
Just do it. And we'll do no action on 31. Will that work?
Yeah. The Office of Court Administration, when are they going to change their views on all of this?
I don't know. Thank you. I spoke with Judge Haberkamp last week again, and there's no indication it's going to be anytime soon. So, Ed, have you heard anything from the Supreme Court?
No, I think that's going to be inertia for a while.
Yeah, I do too. And so did Judge. Yeah.
They what?
I can't find anything on their site that indicates they do anything different.
Gotcha.
Yeah. Okay, moving to agenda item 32. Any future agenda items we need to put on? All right then, item number 33, adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
Have a motion from Commissioner Snuggs to adjourn, a second from Commissioner Clement. Any further discussion?
I never second that one, but I did.
All in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Ayes have it. We are adjourned.